Put me in, coach. Today we are talking about Kyrie Irving. He's back. Do you guys respect his stance on this vax situation? And is he going to help or hurt the Nets? Also, we're going to talk about my Lakers. Whose fault is it? Is it LeBron James' fault for putting this roster together and missing games? Is it Russell Westbrook's fault because he can't stop turning the ball over? Is it Frank Vogel's fault because he doesn't have the right offense, the defense isn't doing very good, and the culture sucks? Matter of fact, what is the culture? Or is it Anthony Davis's fault because he can't seem to stay healthy or be consistent as the Lakers need him to be? And then finally, but certainly not least, we're going to talk about Damian Lillard. Now that teams can trade the players that they signed at the beginning of this season, now they can trade those guys. So where is Damian Lillard going to go? Is he going to be traded? And or why is he staying? Dame, do yourself a favor. I'm going to explain all of this and more here on today's show. But first, I need you guys to do me a huge favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video like an assist, because here we are talking basketball. So you're going to get highlights, commentary, and most importantly, I'm going to cover the biggest stories in the world of basketball. So without further ado, let's get straight to the video. Kyrie freaking Irving, he's back, Mr. Uncle Drew. Now, is he going to help or hurt the Nets? Well, this is a double-edged sword, but I'm going to say he's going to hurt the Nets. Why? Because we're thinking that Kevin Durant is finally going to be able to get a little bit of rest. He's not going to have to play as many minutes, but he's probably going to have to play more, because when you have a guy like Kyrie Irving, he will shoot you out of a game or he will shoot you into a game. Either way it goes, Kyrie Irving is going to take his shots. I love seeing him cross people up and dance on them, but that doesn't really help when you're looking for team chemistry and you're looking to win championships. When it comes to shooters, you're going to have good and bad nights. I respect Kyrie Irving's stance on the vax because it's getting ridiculous.
We're really close, almost close to 100% of the players in the league are 97, 98%.
But these guys are still going through health and safety protocols. So I'm really concerned. And at this point, I'm really looking like Kyrie Irving should be championed, because how many vax are they going to have to take? How many vaccines are we going to have to take? This is getting a little absurd. But when we're talking about Kyrie Irving on and off the basketball court, he's not going to be able to play in home games. This is going to hurt them because you're going to need him in every single game. I can tell you from having a hamstring injury right now, hamstring injuries are tricky because some days that hamstring is tight and some days that hamstring feels like it's back to normal. And it's an up and down thing. You realize, like, man, if I push this too hard, bam, there it goes again. KD is in the MVP race with Steph Curry. But if Kevin Durant remains in this MVP race, playing all these minutes, scoring all of these points, he's going to end up burning out before the end of the season. James Harden is having a tough time with that hamstring injury, and with Kyrie only being allowed to play away games, we're playing about 24 games. And the Raptors have just shut down NBA players who are not vaccinated. So if they happen to so it's a good thing that the Raptors are sorry this year. Also hurt the chemistry on the team because Kyrie is one of their pillars. He's one of their star players. So they need him. Kevin Durant needs, because KD can score on anybody and Kyrie can break down any one defender. And as long as you have KD out there, you can't really just stack up all your players and put them on Kyrie, because Kevin Durant is more deadly than Kyrie Irving is. Now, moving on to the next topic, LeBron and my Lakers. Whose fault is it, and what is the easiest way to get this thing turned around? Let's go through the factors really quick. He has only played 19 games out of 31 games, which means he's missed about 12. I believe LeBron would have helped my Lakers to win at least 6 of those games, which means we'd be much higher in the standings. The issue is the offense, the defense, culture of LeBron James, who helped to put this team together with a bunch of old guys and a bunch of guys on one-year contracts. It's filled with guys on one-year contracts. We could look at Russell Westbrook, who turns the ball over a lot. And him and James Harden are fighting for that #1 spot to see who can give the ball away the most. And we have Anthony Davis, Mr. Inconsistent, Mr. Super Soft, Mr. Brittle. This sucks. But then we have the coach. I'm looking at the offense. I'm looking at the defense. I'm looking at the culture. I'm looking at the team chemistry. Do they respond well when it comes to a guy like Frank Vogel? I know that they look at him as a guy who won the championship with the Lakers, but let's be honest. It was LeBron and AD, especially when a guy like LeBron James has consistently been to the NBA Finals. To make this short, simple, and sweet, this is Frank Vogel's fault. And I hate to say this, but he is the easiest scapegoat. He is the easiest thing to get out of town and get this thing turned around. You do not get superstar players on your team. This is not a normal thing. It happens to the Lakers a lot, but ask the Timberwolves, ask the Trailblazers, any other NBA team out there. There's a lot of teams that struggle to get that star on their team. There are some really good NBA players, but when it comes to a star player, those guys are hard to get. So Frank Vogel should have figured out how to get the best out of Russell Westbrook by now. Whether he sat him down and asked him, hey Russ, this is what we need you to do. Can you do it? Or, hey Russ, how can we get the best out of you? We need you to focus on not giving the ball to the other team. Or we could have an offense set up to where things actually just go and flow. I'm not seeing any of that. Now, I do see all of these guys making a sacrifice. If you have the ball in your hands a lot, you're going to turn it over a lot. That's just how it goes. I don't care what player you're looking at. There's a lot of guys who end up with a lot of turnovers in certain games. Russell Westbrook is just one of those guys who happens to be at the top of that list for a lot of turnovers every single game. But this falls on the shoulders of Frank Vogel. We need a better offense. We need a better defense. The defense sucks. DeMar DeRozan killed us. Karl Anthony Towns killed us. Zach LaVine didn't play. Anthony Edwards did not play. And we still lost those games. And those were against good teams. Somebody needs to be traded, cut, waived, or fired. Something needs to happen with my Lakers because we got to get this thing turned around. Now, I will say this. There's a lot of competition going on in the Western Conference right now. Just as I stated in previous videos, you win one game or you lose 2 games, you're going to significantly fall or rise in the standings. That's just how competitive it is. At the making of this video, my Lakers are in 7th place. But if they win 2 or 3 games, that could be as high as 4th. We get to the last topic, which is Damian Lillard. Do the Trailblazers a favor. Do yourself a favor right now. Start ring chasing right now where, wow, you have a lot in the tank, where you're still one of the best guards in the NBA. Do yourself this favor. I know you want that money. I know you want that extension. But what you have to understand is the business side. The Trailblazers do not want to pay you that extra money because they don't have any money to bring in better players to help you win a championship. And what I would say, if you really want that money and if Portland really wants to give it to you, if they really want to show their loyalty to you, go ahead, sign you, and then trade you. That way you still get all of your money. But the issue and the problem is, even if you get sent to another team, they're going to have to gut the team. The best contracts usually means the best players on that team. You're going to be in the same situation that you're in with the Trailblazers right now, which is not winning a championship. That's what he's trying to do. Kobe Bryant played all 20 years with the Lakers, but he won 5 rings. Steph Curry is probably not going to leave the Warriors, but he won 3 rings. And it looks like he may be on his way to a 4th ring. Damian Lillard, I'm sorry, but you're barely in the conversation for the playoffs, not the NBA Finals, not even making it to the NBA Finals. So that you go ahead and you make the trade request, or you let the Trailblazers know secretly that you want to go ahead and be traded, because it's going to help you and it's going to help the Trailblazers. So if you're really, really loyal to them, you'll do this for them. The Trailblazers will not be able to get anybody else. I get it. There's CJ, there's Nurkic, but CJ, with the injury that he just had, I'm not sure how many teams are willing to go all in on CJ. And then with Nurkic, outside of you, Dame, I don't know who else sees a lot of value in what Nurkic is and what Nurkic does, because I can't really tell you what he does extremely well or why you'd want him as your starting center, because I just don't see it. But I could be wrong. But what I will say is, do yourself a favor. Start ring chasing right now. Now, if there's anything that I left out, if there's anything you guys really want me to talk about or research, comment under below. Also, if you made it to the end of this video, like this video. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.